Hello, it's Matt, and welcome to episode 58 of Gross Oversimplifications, where I talk about how to do stuff to your guitar yourself by request. Somebody asked me if I could do an episode on a topic, and I can, and I will. You can do that, right? Otherwise, I'm just making this stuff up on the spot. So if you've got a topic and you think that I might know about the topic, or could pretend I know about the topic, leave a comment. I read all your comments. I delete a bunch of your comments. So yeah, just like my good friend H33F0X, and, I'm assuming that's your real name. Might want to have a word to your parents about that one. But they wanted to know about string gauge. Okay, and I do suspect that it's going to be tied up in a broader discussion. I did an episode on string tension, and that's worth having a look at. Oh, it's not worth having a look at. It exists, because there's more to string gauge than you might actually think. But we're going to start at the start. So let's go. 3 minutes. Yep, about string gauge. So on the most basic level, string gauge is the size of your string diameter. So not the length. The thickness of the string. Okay? So, and that's measured in thousandths of an inch for some reason. Probably Americans. So when you look at a packet of strings, and these are a Ernie Ball beefy slinky set of strings, there's some numbers on them, right? And the numbers are the size of the string. That's the string gauge. When somebody comes like, what gauge do you use? This is what you can say. You can use 11 to 54 strings, and they'll know what you're talking about. But that means 11 thousandths of an inch to 54 thousandths of an inch. And that's it. Okay? Why is that important? Now, there's a lot of stuff to do with strings that I'll get into, but on a personal level, when you go get your guitar set up, I or somebody else will be slotting the nut slots and the saddle slots, and sometimes the tuners, sometimes other stuff, according to the size of the string. Okay. So if you've got something that's slotted for 9 thousandths of an inch, and you're trying to put something that's 13 in it, it's not going to fit. You're going to have problems. Okay. So that's why it's important to remember what gauge of string you use or like. But it gets more complex because all strings, all manufacturers, there's a huge variance between the type of metal that the string's made out of, the way that the ball end is terminated, the way, or if it has a ball end at all, the core of the string, the type of the core, the size of the core, the type of wrap, the size of the wrap and the style of the wrap, and probably some other stuff that I'm forgetting. Okay? And that's also combined with the problems made by your guitar, how the strings are terminated there, the angle of the behind the nut and behind the saddle, the length, the tuning, all sorts of stuff. It's a huge, complex system, okay? And it's too much to go through, but you will find there's a huge variance between something like a 10 to 46 round wound hex core string and a 10 to 46 flat wound round core string, okay? So there's no just give me the normal string, okay? Just remember the gauge is only the size, and there's other stuff to talk about. Don't just ask for the normal string, okay? There's no normal string. I've got 50 guitars in here to do, and none of them are normal, because none of you are normal. That's it.